Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So now today we are going to solve another question based over that same series, that is your Python for machine learning. Okay, so here I am with one other question, a sort of a very interesting question for you all. Right, so let's get started up here and let's understand what is this question about and what do we have to do up here. Okay, let's get started. So my question is that write a Python class to find a pair of elements from a given array whose sum equals a specific target number. Okay. So see, in this question, what do I have to do? My first thing which I have to do is I need to prepare in up a Python class, right? Now, what's the objective of preparing that Python class? Objective is that I need to find up a pair of elements, right? That's my objective from a given array. Now, I need to even mention up a array that will be defined by me, okay, whose sum equals a specific target number. So my question is actually saying me what to do is saying me to make up a class. In that class, I had to define my own numbers, my own array elements, right? Now, when defined my own array elements, what do I have to do? I just have to simply make up a pair, right? I need to find a pair of elements, right, which is equaling to a specific target number. It means that let's say my target number is 70, right? So I need to find up a pair of elements whom I add in. So it should result me the final output as 70. That is what is the requirement of my particular program. Try to read in the note which is given up here that there will be one solution for each input and do not use the same element twice. So in that case, there will be one solution for each input, right? And you do not have to use the same element. It means that you can't use 30 plus 30 and you can make it 60. That won't work out. You have to use 30 plus any other number to make that as 60, okay? And the input numbers which you're having, that is 10, 20, 10, 40, 50, 60, 70, and the target is 50. So your output should come 3, 4. So it means that onto my third index and onto my fourth index, whatsoever the values I am having, those will give me a summation of 50. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on third I'm having 10, and one second. And on fourth, I am having 40. So absolutely right. 10 plus 40 is equal to 50. So this is my complete program that I have to do up here. So my complete program has been divided up into the 3 parts. Okay. So those 3 parts, the very first one is I need to define a Python class. Second is I need to give in some array elements over there. And third is I need to write in the logic for pairing up the elements. As simple as that, right? Let's start and very quickly write out this particular program. I'm going to make up a first of all class as it was said in my program. The class, and it's going to be, let's say, sol, S-O-L. Okay, it's let's say my class name S-O-L. Fine. Def. Now I'll be trying to define in a function inside this particular class which will help me to pair up the elements. Okay, def ELE, my function name, let's say. Okay, so inside that I'm going to pass in myself. Okay, I'm going to pass in a variable, let's say n. I'm going to pass in up one other variable which is star, AR. Okay, let it be target. Okay. So my function name is LEELE. Fine. Inside that, I'm not using any inbuilt IDE. If I have used PyCharm, so the cells might have automatically been passed inside this function. But as in the case I'm not using PyCharm, so I need to write this manually because I am using the Google Colab. Okay. So the cells, comma, n is one of my variables which I'm having. And target is one of my other variables which I'm having up over here, right? So now next what has to be done, I need to use up one of the variables, let's say, so let's take it A, okay, and I'm going to make that as an empty dictionary for now. right? A is one of my variables, and that's gonna be an empty dictionary. Here goes my next loop, that for I, comma, n. N is my variable which I have taken, right? So for I, comma, n, enumerate. Enumerate is one of my functions which I am using up over here, right? So I needed to use that over here because I am having some of the functions like that to be done into my program. Okay, that's the reason I need to pass in. So for I, comma, num in enumerate, inside that I'm going to pass n, my variable which I have defined above, into my function, right? Breaking down, I'll go on with my condition, that if my target minus n, it means that whatever my target number is, if that minus n, that if that is subtracted by a number in the LE function in my, sorry, not the LE function, in my dictionary, that is a. So if my target that I'm having, okay, my number, one of the other numbers which I'm having, if that is subtracted by n, if it is like subtracted with n in my empty dictionary, so into that case I need to return my dictionary A, and then will be my target variable minus my num variable. Okay, one more thing, here also it will be num only. Find the target minus num, comma, I'm going to put up the ith value, that's my index value also, because I will be working completely onto my indexes, right? So that's the reason I even need to put in my index value, that is my I. Fine. Coming out of my condition, I'm going to put up that A as my dictionary variable. Into that, I'm going to put up the num. So A num is equal to I. So what I'm doing here is that I'm just adding the elements into my dictionary. If you look it very clearly, so you might remember that this is the method about how you add in up the elements into your dictionary, right? So yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm just adding up that particular element into my dictionary, which is actually satisfying this condition which is into my for loop. Okay, getting down. And that's the time that I'll be printing up the last and the final statement for my program. So print, I'm going to write in okay, so let's print up about the indexes. Okay, so index 1 is equal to, I'm going to put up the %d. So whenever in Python you want to print in any particular number, print in any particular integer, so we do the formatting, and that format, so for printing up the integers, your %d is the default format which you use in. Right, try to remember these small things while coding, while solving up the problems. Okay, so index 1 is equal to %d. Right, that's all done. Moving further, comma, I'm going to even put up my index number 2. Okay, so index, okay, how come I like close this? Comma, index 2. That is again going to equal to my %d. Right, that's all done. Now, even I need to put in up all of the rest of the values. I'm going to put up my % over here, right? And I'm going to define up my function name. That is, I'm going to call my function LE. And inside that, I'm going to pass in my values for the n and for the target. So n values I was having up over here. This is my 10, 20, 10, 20, something like that. I just copy it and paste it up over here. So LE like this, right? Perfect. And my target was 50, right? And my target variable was my 50 number. Fine, that's all done. Now if I try to run in up my program over here, okay, let's check in. Name LE is not defined. Def LE, ELE. Okay, %. Okay. Now here a very basic mistake which I did was, if you can figure this out, you can let me know in the chat box that what basic mistake I did do. So the basic mistake which I made up here is that I can't directly call my function like this, right? Because I have defined that particular function inside my class, right? So when I have defined up my function inside the class, so what do I have to do? I have to first of all write the name of my class, put a dot, and after that only I'll be able to call in that particular function, right? So I just did that mistake. So my class name is sol dot, here goes a dot, and then will be my LE, that's my calling up of my function, right? So now it's the time for running at my program, and what results I'm getting the results which is 2, 3. And now this is why, because here the indexing is automatically starting with 0, right? We all know that in our array, indexing starts with the 0th element. So here in that particular case, my output should be 2, 3. But if I have defined it earlier that my indexing should start with 0, so into that particular case, it should have been, my result should have been 3, 4, right? But right now it's 2, 3, and just because 0, this one is being 0, this one is being 1. This 10 is my second index and this 40 is my third index. So that 10 plus 40, what is it resulting me? It is resulting me the result that is 50, right? Yes. And that's how you can write up this very simple program which I did have mentioned up for you over here. Now see, the program was not that difficult to understand, was not that difficult to do. It was just a matter of your understanding, like how you can make up a good understanding over the same, and how you can just implement up all of those respective things, right? So I hope I am pretty clear with this question to you about this particular, how you can do this, so I can solve out this particular question. What's the method how you can do that actually, right? So hopefully we have like got this particular explanation also, and how to approach this type of question. So with the same type of question, I'll also see you in the next video, right? So if you have enjoyed this video, do like the video, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe out my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.